the struggling parents, the families, the teachers, the students that are realizing that a system built to divide, impoverish, and destroy us cannot stand if we do it. All right? It's kind of basic mathematics.
If you hear me, could you feel me, could you free me? Wonder if I made a difference or made a difference. Bump that, we are the difference. We ain't got no code to decipher. Brother, I would never call you trife. You my brother, though they knife and fork our meals, then cop the silly fields. Yep, it's slimy, kinda grimy, miscalculated the timing. But you can plagiarize something in the skies and think we have no eyes to see something real as we. This is seriously who we be. See, this here is true indeed, the real deal, thoroughbred, like collard greens and cornbread. Can't recite what's never said, purpose keeps us fed. Real man, this is brand A, hope fed. But still, you are my brother, above you there's no other. Blood or something other, more like what the blood covers. Man, no matter what they say, we good over this way. This is positivity in the making, helping brothers to break through. Without breaking, without breaking, without breaking, without breaking. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, so you know what that means.
Brother Empowerment Day.
So if this is your first time watching the show, shame on you. but this is one of those shows where we don't come on here trying to bash anybody, but this is a show to uplift our brothers and their families, hoping that someone will take something away from this conversation that will make their life or someone they know life better. As y'all can see, we have some guests on, but before we introduce them, bro, how was your week?
Oh man, my week has been actually pretty dope, man. I have been really just chilling, sitting still. Well, sitting still when I'm not working and working out.
Define chilling and sitting still. What does that mean?
Not going places, traveling, getting in my car and burning up the road. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of opposite of that.
Oh, so you've been paying attention to COVID?
Well, we gotta do.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure. I was just confused. I didn't know what was
in front of the company. So
you
anyways,
okay.
I've been having my week has been pretty dope. We shot a video today. Me and Devontae, aka Peon, aka the Black Captain America, have been hitting the gym hard, and I've been literally torturing myself. But it's been working out though because I feel great and I look pretty good too. So, but no, it's been pretty good, man. I just really been, man, chilling, man. Really. So yeah, what about you, bro?
Okay, well, we already know this week has already been an amazing week because it started off with the Mlk Celebration.
Right.
We talked about that, how I'm one of the board members for the Cultural Arts Society of Greene. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it was like stressful. That was probably the longest 48 minutes and 22 seconds of my life. But we made it through. People were happy. And so that was great. And plus, it was for a great cause. Right. And then we did have a great, day on January 20th.
Yes.
Which was the 30th anniversary of our first Love is a Parable graduation.
Yes.
So we made history 3 years ago, and then history was made again.
Yep. I saw the memory on my Facebook, so yes. Yep.
And then another thing happened on there, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I also I've actually made peace with a lot of people from my past this week and last week. Mm-hmm. So that was actually pretty dope.
Yep.
But enough about me. I definitely want to introduce
our special guest. Whole panel,
just dope. This is a new level of dopeness. So we're going to start with the hyphenated name since she at the top. Miss Hyphen, tell the people who you be, who you is.
My name is Shan-Tika Watkins. I am the vice chair of the Cultural Arts Society, and I sit on the board with Dwayne, as well as Miss Marion Tucker, who is another guest on tonight. But I'm also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, And I am a member of the Western Wake chapter, and my soror is also on tonight, Ms. Chanel Ratliff, who is our social action chair.
How you gonna introduce her?
I was helping everybody.
Intro. Well, since I'm gonna introduce everybody. That's Marion Tucker.
That's a first. See, we all kinds of firsts.
The
first Debo.
Yeah, the first Debo and first Delta.
Okay. Yep, that's right.
First Debo, first Deltas.
Yep.
I don't know, Chanel. Do you have anything that you would like to add to that?
Well, my soror has my back. My name is Chanel.
I say my soror.
I am the social action chair for the Western Wake Alumnae chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And we are happy to be here tonight with my soror and Ms. Tucker as well to chat tonight, and let's talk about some things.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you on, but you know what? Last night, bro, the Queen is in the building. The Queen is in the building. Queen Tucker, tell the people who you are. Come on, Queen.
I am Marion Tucker. I'm a longtime resident of Fuquay Arena, North Carolina. Chairperson of the Cultural Arts Society. Member First Baptist Church.
Come on. Come on, throw the church up in there. See, this must be 50% heathen on that side, Queen Tucker. They ain't get a shirt.
I'm giving them props,
Okay, bro. So go ahead and tell who we got, because we got a lot of comments.
Man, yeah, we have Sherry's on. What's up, Sherry?
Hey, Sherry. That's our sister. That's y'all sister too. Hey, Sherry.
We got Mama Garnett is on. Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mom.
Let's see, we got Miss Chandra is on. What's up, Chandra?
Hey, Chandra.
Rashia is on. What's up, Rashia?
Hey, Rashia.
We got Sean Stewart is on. What's up, bro?
What's up, Sean?
Roderick is on. What's up, Sean?
What's up, bro?
Let's see.
Lenore.
No, wait a minute. Susie Hunter is on. What's up, Grandma Susie?
Hey, Grandma Susie.
Let's see. We got Lenore is on. We got Rashia on.
What's it?
Did we say Rashia?
Yeah, we said.
My bad. Sorry.
Hey, Rashia twice.
I saw the comments though. Hey, we got Devontae on. What's up, Devontae, aka Keon, aka Torture Master Raglan?
The muscle, literally.
The Black Captain America.
Whole body just one muscle.
You know what I'm saying? So we got Charles on. What's up, Charles?
What's going on, Charles?
We got Emmanuel Holland. What's up, Emmanuel?
That's Pastor Holland.
Excuse me. Wow.
The pastor. He was on here.
I remember.
He preached to us.
Yeah. Can I call him Emmanuel, please?
No, you got to put a handle on it.
Well, you know what?
That's the Reverend. The right Reverend.
What's up? We got Chanel's on. What's up, Chanel? The other Chanel. What's up, Chanel?
What's she don't see?
Well, it's Shea Paris, but it's Chanel.
Oh, there she go.
You know what I'm saying?
Now that's my sorrow.
Let's see who else we got. We got Cassandra's on. What's up, Cassandra? We got Stephanie's on. What's up, Stephanie? And we got Tara's on. What's up,
Hey,
Tara?
Stephanie. Hey, Tara. That's our other sister. Look,
Yeah.
you know you the right Reverend.
That's
And then look.
Oh, we got Sis is on. Hey, Sis. So, yeah, anybody else, if we missed you, please drop a comment so we can shout you out, and we're going to get started.
Yeah, and I got to go just a little bit away because Lenore and Chanel are my sorors of the Alumnae Beta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So I had to say that just a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit, throw that one out there. So a couple of things we definitely want to make sure that we talk about. Researchers have found that at least 1 in 6 men have experienced sexual abuse or assault, whether in childhood or as an adult. Rape of males. A CDC study have found that in the U.S., 1 in 71 men had been raped or suffered in an attempt within their lifetime. The same study found that approximately 1 in 21 or 4.8% of men in a survey had been made to penetrate someone else, usually an intimate partner or an acquaintance. Men die at suicide 3.5 times more often than women. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. Teenage boys are 4 times more likely than girls to drop out of school and represent more than 75% of the children referred to special education in the U.S. And then home ownership. Home ownership is lower for Black college graduates than for white high school dropouts. So before we get into the discussion topics, guests, Anything you wanted to say about any of those statistics?
Some heavy stuff.
Yeah, they're just sitting reflecting.
Well, it's a lot. The home ownership, for one, hits home for me because I have 2 young nephews who are in college right now, who will be graduating soon, and I'm encouraging them to purchase their first home, such as I did, and such as many of us did soon after graduating from college. And that is a big push that we need to continue to do in our communities, as we say in Delta, good financial fortitude. We do workshops on that too, but to handle money and know the value of home ownership and good economic knowledge as well in our community, because that's something that we lack at times.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I would say, because you make me also think about, don't be intimidated by the things you don't know. A lot of times when we talk about money, and a lot of times, like even I remember when we purchased our first home, it was more of fear that robbed us of a great opportunity versus just saying, I don't know what that means, explain that to me.
Right.
Because a lot of times the service is needed and they're renting a service, so it's their responsibility to explain it. Nothing is wrong with that. There's a lot of people that don't know a lot of stuff. Trust me.
Right. Yeah. Not be afraid to ask questions and work with someone that you can trust.
Right.
As well, a knowledgeable realtor or financial consultant as well. Or for any of our organizations, we offer those workshops in the community as well.
Yeah. I know that before I bought my first home, my parents were telling me or suggesting that I do that some years back, and I was scared at the time because I didn't think that I had the financial means to do it.
Right.
But I started asking questions and got a realtor, and my mom definitely helped me a lot with that process. But I'm glad I did it when I did. But I probably could have done it a couple years earlier had I not been so jittery about it.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would say probably one of the stigmas is too that home ownership for most people of color only happens once. Be like, you can own multiple, you can own multiple, but we treat home like it's a final destination. Like, I bought my house, I'm gonna retire and die here.
Yeah.
When really you can move up, you can change, you can get more, and multiple home ownership is possible.
Right.
Look, even with bad credit.
I think that also speaks to generational wealth. I think some of our counterparts oftentimes, or a lot of the times, take the necessary steps to make sure that there are real property as well as financial assets that are passed down to their children, whereas we don't always take those steps.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely agree.
And Rashia said, yes, great economics and finances. We have to pour it back into our Black and brown community. Rashia just launched Fitness and Finance. And so her whole initiative is bringing financial literacy while living good and feeling good at the same time. So Rashia, that's definitely someone you should reach out if you have a passion, the same passion as any of our guests. So make sure you let them know who you are, who you be. You about to say something, Queen Tucker?
Yes, I think that beyond that, oftentimes we look at the purchase of a home as an achievement, and once we get it, we don't look beyond that because we're concentrating on getting. We think we got to pay for it. We think it must be paid for. We don't know that you don't have to pay for it. You can move on to another one, and I think that comes from generations before us who struggled to get the one that they had, and that was struggle. So anything beyond that is a new learning curve for us.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to go ahead and shout out Me Fi Me. And I don't know if y'all saw Stephanie. She's AKA her April, I think, are on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first discussion question. We can't fix 400 years of corruption in 4. But what accomplishments should the Black community consider a successful term 446? Ooh, that was a tongue twister. So we know we can't fix 400 years, and we know we can't repair everything from the past. But what are some key indicators that any administration has really completed a successful term? What do we look for?
Preparing our economy. 46 has come into one of the worst economies, you know. So just like 44 had to fix, I think that he can't do it in 4 years. He's going to need 8 to do it. But he already has the backing of the Black community, and just from us talking about how we can prepare our community and teach them more in addition as well. So we need to attend those workshops. So if he can put those resources out there and more jobs as well, he's going to not only jobs, there's a lot of things that we don't even know yet that he's going to have to fix. So the economy is going to be one. But I would say the number one thing, now let me backtrack a little bit, is going to be COVID. And that's one of the things that I know we're going to talk about tonight, but COVID is his main priority, and he can't fix it by himself, but that's going to be a success for him. And it's, again, unfortunately, it's going to take a while.
But I also think too that even though some people fear it, I think it is going to take more federal government involvement with helping to fix it, because leaving everything to the states and everybody operating on their own agenda, own time frame, it's not going to happen, and we're not going to get to a point where we're actually able to resume our sense of normalcy and going out and having activities, because we're going to always be at some staggered level. It's not going to be on the same playing field. So I think the government's involvement with actually being very strategic in how these vaccines are being rolled out, and making sure that there's equal access to healthcare for all communities. I think that's going to also be a tremendous and very a milestone that we can use to mark for the Black community as well.
I think, I guess I'm a little pessimistic about it, but I think things are in such a state of disarray that he will do well to get things back to where they were when 45 started. I don't know that, given that it's going to take at least 4 years to straighten things out, I don't know how much progress you can make while you're trying to fix things. It's hard to put out fires and start new things at the same time. Okay. So I'm just waiting in a wait and see mood.
Okay. What you got, bro?
I would say COVID is obviously the big umbrella over everything, and that affects everybody. So I won't touch that one. And as Shanna said, we're going to talk about that probably plenty over the course of the night. But I will say, for the Black community, what I would say as far as success for this term for 46 would be introducing more actual opportunity. You know, there is quite a bit of lip service that is had or heard at press conferences and all the other stuff via candidates or when they're running, but then when they get into office, the opportunities don't really materialize for our community. So, and I mean opportunity for mobility, because that is where poverty and debt and all that stuff comes in, when there's a lack of opportunity to propel yourself upward financially or just socially. So I would say opportunity is what I would be looking for. Actual concrete opportunity for jobs or just to obtain more financial resources, because that can alleviate a lot of the pressure of the community, because a lot of it is financial. So okay, that would be my one thing.
When Chanel first started, Rachel was basically echoing, was saying decreasing poverty, really stimulating the economy. Mm-hmm. Stephanie said addressing student loan debt to level the playing field. Those silver spooners got a head start.
Yeah.
My wife came right on in with agreeing that some or all the student loans, take them all, mm-hmm, and then opening the floor to introductions of discussions in regards to reparations. And then Sherry said, I love this statement. Power just means a world where we're safe to be ourselves. to look like we want, to think like we want, without having to answer to anybody for it. I will just add to what everybody's saying. I think I'm leaning more towards what Shan-Tika was talking about in regards to, I want true equitable rights to exist. Because we already know equality ain't fair. I need us to get to a place where we really do have equitable access to things, which will cover reparations. And really, if we're going to do true DEI work, I wish that we had measurable goals for DEI work outside of just conversation. I think that it will be great for even Black organizations to also have DEI organizations, and don't assume that it should be just for majority white organizations, because ignorance knows no color. Ignorance of diversity exists, and that is something we need to close if we're truly going to have conversations about equity, because we do have a problem with selecting the wrong people to represent us. And if we are not coming into full knowledge about everything, how can we truly say we're selecting the best people to make decisions for us? A great example out of all the things that are happening right now, one thing that is going to the House right now, going to the Senate right now, is to make the National Negro Anthem the national hymn, is saying that that is a step towards unity. Out of all the things that we could have pulled out of a hat, or all the spaghetti we could have threw to a ceiling, I'm shocked that that was the one noodle to stick. And so we have to get to a place where we are educating ourselves, not having parking lot sidelight conversations, but really getting in places to impact the action that we want to see.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dwayne. I think that sometimes the spaghetti that sticks to the ceiling is not really the thing that needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because people are in little pots or different forums talking about what they want to see, and nobody's getting together. I actually think sometimes that, in fact, I know for a fact that more things can get done if you start at the local level than what you can if you expect it to be done at a higher level.
Right.
I can remember there were times when you would have, or we as African Americans would have somebody waiting in the wings, you know, prepping somebody to get them ready to move forward. And you can look in we can look in our local community, and you can see how many people are being prepped to move forward. I think we have to go back to that kind of thing, and not think that the top position is the one that we need to be trying to achieve. Because sometimes most times your problem is right at home.
Yep.
There's some things fix that somebody at the top can't fix. If you don't go next door, if you got a problem with your neighbor, the two of you got to work it out. The community has to work it out. Somebody at the state level can't work it out until somebody's probably killed or dead. So I think maybe we need to, and I don't know how to work it out either, but I think we need to have some focus groups or something so that all of our ideas, you know, kind of center around what really needs to happen, and everybody's not working off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is very good. And I also would encourage people to realize that we can address multiple issues at one time.
Absolutely.
It's gumbo. I mean, it's so many different problems that are going on. We really can. And for some strange reason, we have this mindset. We're going to address this one thing, the housing crisis. Well, if I have a house, you're telling me my voice don't matter.
Right.
What about all the other issues that we can just address and be one huge force, attack them in all cylinders? One of the things that has been true for the last 17 years is that the African-American woman have been the most progressive demographic. And that is because they have developed some level of the collective we mindset. Imagine if that same thing happened on all cylinders across the board. So those type of things will really help us if we continue to move forward. Quinn, you got people saying
you think that we have to prioritize. We have, even though we can work on more than one thing at the time. Don't you think those things have to be prioritized?
It's prioritized in what regard? Because like when I go to like these town hall meetings, they have a list of priorities. It seems like, but we as a collective unit will come together and say, this is the one thing we're fighting for. Why can't we make all our requests known?
No, I think we can make them all known, but I think for us, okay, let's say you go to town hall.
Right.
How many of us do you see in there?
You could, in words my undie, you are correctly right.
Not many. So it seems to me sometimes that if you don't see many of us and there's strength in numbers, you've got to put those numbers behind. Let's say I've got 5 things that I think need to be worked on. Well, you might have to work on one at a time. And when you get one worked on, then you go for the second one. If you need all the numbers working on that one priority. Now, if you get them all going, then it seems to me you can spread yourself out. But
I would say, like, just go with your strength line. Like, if your passion is town hall, instead of going to the town hall meetings, let's get a Marion Tucker on the town hall board. Let's get a Chanel Ratliff on the Board of Education's board.
You got to have more than one.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. But what's happening in a lot of places, like I can speak from my experience, for 19 years, I was the only Black male in leadership in my field. And it wasn't that if people wasn't qualified, it was how we looked at certain things and felt like, well, I ain't gonna do all that work. But they don't realize the reason why I became an exec is because I wanted to be a key decision maker. And the only way I could impact change is becoming one who make decisions. Coming to a town hall meeting is important, and I get that. But it's not as important as being on that board where you can influence change.
Well, you know what? I think you're right, but I think you got to have more than one of us.
I agree.
I did. Because I have been in positions where I was the only African-American female amongst 35 men, okay? And I can tell you, because my voice is soft, that there were tricks that I had to figure out. How do I get in this conversation? And how do I make myself heard? And believe me, it took time to get that done. And you almost have to stand up and beat on your chest like a 1,000-pound gorilla, right, to make it heard and accepted. And once you get that done, you're good. But till you get to that point, you know, there's a lot would have helped if I would have had another person working with me to push some things forward. Yeah.
Agreed.
I get that.
Sherry say, you speaking truth, we about to change the name of this to Mother Empowerment. Tara said, unfortunately, we are behind. If we pull together for one thing, the other side has enough to appease us whilst still getting their real agendas completed. We need to have representation in all rooms. It doesn't take many. We do lack any.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And Rashida said, having one of us there is a good start. We just have to come out and speak out and support one another. And Tara said, we rely on too few. The work is to get more involved. Interest matters, though. Now, I will say that, too, because Bro and I have been in meetings where people assume they know what we talk about. And they're like, well, we need more than love. And we're like, I know we need more than love. That's why we're changing the way people think. We deal with values. Love is just something people can't argue about. When was the last time we heard somebody say, I get too much love? Right. But we really go in there and change the minds that influence the change. Just like somebody who's on the front line is influencing those needs that need to be dealt with right away. Like there's a place for marches. There really is. Those are attention getters and those are things for immediate needs. But we still need people in the office who are influencing the ones who are signing the checks, the ones who are signing the bills, the ones who are impacting change. We work together. We're not against you, and we're not saying your approach isn't good. It's just not what we're most effective at. I came from an education background. We all came from an education background to some extent. We put our power where it is. We can work together because I can be in a boardroom telling people why they should invest in this organization. But we got this, if it ain't this, then it's that. And if you're not with me, that means you're against me. No, I'm with you, but sometimes I can't be in the same room with you because I'm in another room trying to help you.
Yeah.
I think we also have an issue. We don't reach back.
I'm sorry?
We do not reach back. Going back to what Mother just said and what you said as well, I've been in those before where I've been the only one and had to manage all men that did not have the same skin color as myself. So my approach had to be different. And I've even been told that the way I came across was it was nice, but you knew you had to do it. So I had to pull that back from the ancestors, to get my point across. But it was nice, kind of sassy. But they knew how to work with me, and to this day, I still get that respect as well. But also, I in that position that I was in, I made sure, and I still do, and I reached back. I reached back at that time, and I still do now to make sure that right now is more than one of us or 5 or 10 of us in the room. Because like you said, we have to be in multiple rooms to make those decisions because everyone assumes they know what we want and what we're thinking, and that's not true. That's not true at all. We're actually most of the time thinking outside of the box. And most of the time someone else is thinking cookie cutter, but we're way above and we need to get our ideals out there and groom our leaders as well. So getting those folks in the room, we need to have more conversations like this, encourage folks to go to the school board meetings, go to the town hall meetings, and also to make sure they vote. One thing that's still going on in our community is voter registration. So that contributes to some of the results that we had here in North Carolina with our election, because we still had so few of us that did not vote. So one thing that we need to do, not just election season, we need to do it January to December, pick it back up January, whatever. We still need to push our community to register to vote and get out to the polls, whether it's the presidential election, midterms, or whatever, because that's what hurts us at the end of the day as well.
And you're correct. North Carolina is one of those states that have registration going all year. So you can actually register in the state of North Carolina. So there's no excuse. And you can always call the office. There's a list actually on the website of everybody, which office you need to go to from county all the way down. So you guys need to check that out. You was about to say something? So next topic. Post check concerning world events and relationship goals in COVID. How we doing out there? Are we okay right now? Is there a white flag we need up? Like, I'm not okay with everything that's going on in the world and trying to maintain healthy relationships. How we doing, y'all?
We need to be able to check in on each other.
Yeah. I think Zoom has definitely helped because and FaceTime, because a lot of people have killed that technology to, reach out and touch loved ones that they can't physically go to see. So like Chanel was saying, I think it's important to have those check-ins and just reach out and just call someone, even if it's just to say, hey, I just want to hear your voice, make sure you were still breathing. And in the conversation, at least, you're reaching out and you get that human contact, at least at some point during the day.
Absolutely.
Also, well, before you say something, Mother Tucker, you have...
Call me Mother Tucker one more time.
It's their fault. I was calling you Queen and they don't call you the mother.
One more time.
See, y'all getting me beat up in here. Lenore said, yes, we don't reach back enough. And Lita, my wife, said, thank you for reaching back. So many people don't. they just be glad that they were able to get there and focusing on trying to stay there.
That's exactly right.
And then, Queen Tucker, you got a question. Do you know how to cook field peas and okra?
Yeah.
Somebody, we don't find mothers like that anymore.
But let me just tell you this. I was a home economics major, so I know how to cook most things. I'm a country girl, so I can cook.
My wife got her degree in family consumer sciences, so you just pulled on her heartstring. And to you guys, it's Tara said it is so tiring having to be strategic. If too many show up, the focus becomes our numbers, not the issue. It's a balance. We still are a threat in numbers, even in suits.
Absolutely.
And I said, I'm not okay. It's my job. Experiencing withdrawals from seeing my loved ones as much. Friends by visits are important. Put eyes on your people. Stay distant. That energy matters. Oh, and Sherry says she's coming over your house, Queen. Tell
her I will be happy to have her.
Even before COVID and the pandemic started, we were stressing here, Brother Empowerment, and just in general, stressing, staying tapped in with your people, with your network, with your community. So it's become even more important during this time. So I can't tell how many people that I message, call, and talk to on a daily or weekly basis. And it's very important because some people like myself, I live alone, no pets, no kids, none of that stuff. So, I don't see people as much now. Of course, I still go and see, family and stuff, but me traveling to go see people, stuff like that has come pretty much to a screeching halt for the most part. I still, every now and then may make a trip, especially if something's going on, like something serious, but for the most part, no. So that communication now via technology, is very, very important, and it's helping some people a lot. It's helping some people stay sane. It's helping some people, it's preventing them from going stir crazy in their own personal space, and also helping them kind of vent and release too. Because when you're talking to people and you're talking to people that you trust, you're in a safe space and feel like you can release with them, it really helps. It keeps the pressure off of you mentally and emotionally. So yeah.
I think you need to hear a human voice every day, or at least every couple of days. You don't need to go all day and not hear a human voice.
Yeah.
So that, I think you can talk to your friends by telephone. You can call older people who can't get out, because I know people who are well into their 90s can't get out. So I'll call them. I've got friends who will call me. Do you need anything? They'll bring it to the door. But I try to make sure that I talk to somebody. Yeah. And then I'm pretty crafty. I have things that I live alone, and so I'm pretty crafty, and I have always, I'm only one or two children. So, when you're the older of two children, you learn how to make yourself happy. So I know how to do all those things. So it hasn't been that bad on me.
So what you make, Miss Tucker? You be over there crocheting?
I can do that.
You might have a house full.
I haven't had time since I've been working with cultural arts, though.
Tell them about that sewing.
I sew. I was. I work with my church.
House, come on.
I work with my church. I'm part of a readers book club. We meet every 2 weeks on Friday night. Before I go to bed, I play solitaire with myself, sitting in the middle of the bed. I have puzzles on. I told Shan-Tika I sleep with books and papers in my bed on the other side. So if I wake up, I want to work some puzzles. I wake up, I work puzzles and read a book and go back to sleep. So I try to do things to keep myself from getting bored.
Right.
Because you don't want to get to that point.
My wife said she's concerned about just the children's mental health because there's nothing really in place. We're in Wake County for children coping with COVID. Tara says she misses New Jersey. That's where she's from. The school isn't taking care of educators either. Many are fatigued and feel ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, Queen Tucker, you are like the one everybody wants to know more about.
Well,
Look,
one thing I have never done, I have never made a pecan pie.
I have, and it was amazing.
You gonna make it
well? I said Shan-Tika cooks well.
Well, thank you.
You sure, Shan-Tika? You're a little too young to know how to cook well.
I stayed in the kitchen with my grandma.
I believe you from that. You from the other Rockingham.
Yes, sir.
And she said, "Make yourself happy." She's like my mama, crafty.
That keeping yourself entertained is big. It's big.
I think too, going back to the kids too and their mental health. I think one thing that we don't do enough of, like I think kids have gotten so caught up in electronic games and TVs and screens that they don't play board games. They don't, actually pick up a book and read it or play with Legos, something that's more manual and that could sit there and really take up a lot of time. And I think that also goes back to like some of the skill sets that we're losing in that a lot of people don't go into hands-on jobs. They won't, they shy away from doing some type of work with their hands, like HVAC work and plumbing. And those are skill sets that we're losing and don't have in our community anymore.
And I take partial blame for that too, because us older millennials were the start of technology. The technology generation, like really being raised on technology. Because I remember when computers came in the classroom, and my whole life, hasn't been the same since. But I think that I do agree that some social skills are lacking because of social media and technology. But I even struggle because I'm naturally an introvert. So COVID really helped me. Like I literally had to come up because I was people exhausted. The world was too people-y. So COVID forced you to stay at home. And it was until I looked at some of the brothers and checked on them. They were going through the true extroverts. My skin was all fresh and clear. I was doing a whole bunch of things. I was making myself happy. But when I went and checked on some of the brothers, they weren't doing good. They was looking like cavemen. It was like a whole sight. And so I think knowing what type of person you are to offset that, because now in my mind, I'm saying, okay, Jay, you've been at this computer for 5 hours. Get up and go do something. Go check on people. Because before you know it, I literally zoned out in I did 5 hours yesterday. Just zoned out, didn't even know. And then before you knew it, so know what you're doing so you can kind of know what type of person you are so you can leverage that as well.
Yeah.
That was a question about children.
Ma'am?
Question someone had about the children and COVID. What was that?
Yeah, let me go back up. That was, they coming with them right here. That's my wife, Miss Tucker.
Depending on how old the children are, that there are a lot of things you can do with them to, I guess, make them not miss their friends as much. You can make cupcakes with them, do gingerbread houses, and all kinds. Let them get in there. They might be, they make little dirty cookies and things. May be nasty, but that's okay. It's just that you want them to be able to be active and not missing their friends. Mm-hmm. After they do a little study. If you have to have in-home school for 3 hours, then maybe the other 3 hours you can do something with them where they have to use their hands or something.
Well, Miss Tucker, you done told these people you live by yourself. You about to get adopted.
Well, I'm an introvert. They might have to do all the talking.
Fine with me, Miss Tucker.
I tell you,
you got a lot of stuff. They say mother is the real deal. Somebody else said I need a grandmother like Mother Tucker. You want to be my grandma? Mother is going to mess around and get a whole husband on this show.
That's going to have a whole slew of family. I can remember when my sister was in college, she had a roommate came home to spend the weekend with her. And we didn't talk much. My mama didn't talk much, my sister nor I. And that girl talked so much when she left on Sunday, we all went to bed. We didn't talk that much. So but there are things I think. There are things, though, I think that you can do and that we should be doing during the pandemic. And I would invite the ladies, if they're interested, to join our book club. We read them.
How they join the book club so I can put it in here?
Just send me an email, let me know, and I'll get it to the appropriate person.
Okay. So who is this book club open to?
Anybody that wants to be on it. Right now, it's only ladies.
Okay. Ladies. We'll tell them to email us and we'll get all the names to you.
To give you an indication of what kind of books we usually read, right now we're reading The Fervent Prayer, which talks about how to pray, that kind of thing. We've all, the second book hopefully coming up is going to be it's about women in the Bible, so it's pretty good read.
We don't send it out there. They email us.
We don't do it fast. We do it slow because we talk about it. Because the thought is, if you read it and you don't discuss it, and you take too much time, that's bad. But if you don't take enough time, you lose the meaning of what the book is about.
You done stole my wife's heart, Miss Tucker. You think I'm playing? You gonna have people popping up at your house?
I could use some daughters.
Okay, I ship this whole house over there. You can have my mama too. Roger said he don't believe that you are introvert.
Well, I am, believe it or not.
Shan-Tika, you need to make some pies.
I see.
And Malika said, I feel like COVID has gifted us an extra year of influence with our kiddos before the world gets to impact her. Malika actually has this cool yoga program. She does yoga, and she does yoga with an emphasis on not body shaming, but she also does it with her children, with her daughter as well. And they have a great thing. And I think programs like that are great to do as well, because it encourages you to connect with your children also while not being ashamed of how you look and appreciating who you are.
Mm-hmm. So Malika's dope.
Yep. Well, I can use a mother. My wife's mother transitioned in 2010. And Lenora Love, you done took over our show. You can't come back. Okay, we got time for one more discussion, y'all. One more discussion because, okay, here go a good one. Betrayal in friendships and relationships and family. How do you deal? How do you heal? How do you move forward?
Talk it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Shan-Tika took the words right out of my mouth. Like, addressing the issue head on and not avoiding things or waiting until things fester and or infect other people. Like, really just talking it out. Really, as soon as the thing, whatever the betrayal is, as soon as it happens, talking it out then is I think how it's best gets handled. I know from personal experience, wait until things, wait until an extended period of time or wait until things, quote unquote, die down just makes it worse. The feelings have time to settle in. Other people may get involved with their opinions and just becomes a big mess. And as we talk about here in Brother in Prime as well, confrontation gets a bad rap. All confrontation isn't negative. As a matter of fact, it's a lot of times just positive because you're rooting out the issue and getting rid of it. So I think, like Shan-Tika said, talking it out and really addressing it head on is how I would handle it, or how it's best handled in my opinion.
After
What you
you
got?
talk it out, learn from it. You need to learn from experience. And, take some good nuggets from it, and then decide whether you need to keep some distance or not. Because even though it's family, sometimes the reality is you're not in a good space all the time with family. That's the reality. So sometimes you have to put that distance in between. Love from a distance.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. They already connected with Malika to do yoga, so that's dope. Y'all connect with her, and they say that's right. Shan-Tika, talk it out. Cordell, great words. J-Tel. Oh, she was the first Delta.
Oh,
Malika.
Okay.
We did have a Delta.
I didn't know that.
Y'all the first ones for 2021.
Yeah.
You remember Malika did that dope photo for their what's it? Yeah, what was that?
Wow.
I don't know, but she did something dope. It was a dope Delta picture. But yeah, okay. Talk it out. My wife said have a conversation about it. It could be a misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
Somebody I agree on and love from a distance. I don't believe in loving from a distance. I believe just keep your distance. Like why we? I mean, it sounds better, but some people, let's be honest, we just take your love away. It's okay to take your love, and it's okay not to, really separate. If you're gonna separate. I don't believe in having that little gray squiggly line. Like, well, we kind of connected. No, if you're gonna do a divorce, we ain't separated. No, we ain't on no break period. We ain't on no sabbatical. We either we in or we not. But also establish if it's an expectation. Betrayal is nothing more than an unmet expectation. So was this expectation communicated or assumed? Because we can't assume that expectations are understood because common sense ain't common. And common sense is relative. So we want to make sure that if you feel a level of betrayal, is it something that was communicated? Is it something that was understood? Is it something that you have? Let me explain. I'm very particular about certain things. There's certain things that will hurt my feelings or certain things will tick me off, but there's some things I don't even care about. A lot of times people try to make me care about stuff I don't care about. You know what I mean? I don't care why something happened, how it happened, what's the outcome so I know what to do. That's the same thing in my life. I don't want to rehash a lot of stuff. I've already made come to the conclusion if I'm going to forgive you or not. I'm really talking about how we're going to move forward. Yeah. And truth of the matter is you decided if you forgive a person when the offense happened. Yeah. I don't need a conversation to decide to forgive you or not. Part of the forgiving is having the conversation. If I don't forgive you, I'm not talking to you. Why I'm not talking to you? Because I don't forgive you. And I can tell you why. And nothing is wrong with having a conversation about your expectations. Yeah. That is no different than old school. How many mamas say, well, you in my house, you do my rules. If you don't like my rules, what you do? Leave the house. But then when you get your own house, your mama come in your house and be like, and change the rules. The rule don't apply for some reason. So we got to figure out that part. But for the most part, get your own place, make your own rules. And that's the same thing with relationships. Just because you're related to somebody don't mean you got to deal with their foolishness. If you can cut off a friend, you can cut off a family member. Yeah. But if you're not going to cut off a family member, don't cut off a friend. Friends have disagreements. That doesn't mean that we got to stop being friends sometimes. If you around that family member that do you wrong time after time, and you're able to find a way to forgive them, find a way to forgive that friend too. Absolutely. Our value system sometimes is just messed up. Those conversations have to be had by both parties. That don't work if one does it and one doesn't, or neither of them, or however how many. Oftentimes it's not betrayal. Perspective matters. Boundaries. Rashia talked about boundaries. Now back to Mother Tucker's show. My mama has some splits that need. So now I can't stand Sherry. I can't stand it. Okay. Guys, I don't know what just happened, but Mother Tucker, Queen Tucker, Marion Tucker, the chair became the chair of Brother Empowerment.
She came in silently. She did it like silently, like not even saying nothing.
And she came with her nice curls and everything that stole everybody's heart.
Everybody.
Ooh. We might get the most views because of Queen Tucker. So this is the time where we do what is called Positive Brother Shout Out. So we want to take an opportunity to shout out those brothers who normally probably don't get an opportunity to be recognized because they're usually working or they're around people that really don't show them how well that they're doing. So let's shout out some people that are doing good in your lives and in your communities. I'm going to start with Chanel down there, the social action director. Who you got, Chanel?
You know what? I know he's not on tonight. It's his wife's birthday. But we will let him know. I would like to shout out a brother by the name of Jacoby Dancy. He is one of the social action chairs for the Mlk chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He did an excellent job this weekend. Jacoby and his wife approached the town of Apex to have the first inaugural MLK celebration weekend. And West was blessed to be a part of that this past weekend. We helped coordinate day one, and the Qs coordinated day two. We ended up with virtual church service on Sunday. But Jacoby put in a lot of work. He and his wife, Tion, who is a member of Delta Sigma Theta, they did an awesome job with approaching the town this summer. It took some months and some hard work to do it, but my hat goes off to Jacoby and his frat brothers as well, and of course his beautiful wife also. But he's working hard and giving back to the community as well. And Shan-Tika knows, and he during the holidays he's smoking those turkeys and everything. If you come to NCC homecoming, you'll see his tailgating as well. But we appreciate him for working in social action.
For sure. Shout out to him.
You had me a smoking turkey.
Yes.
We can have that Queen Tuckers with some pies and some peas and everything else and some okra. We're just gonna get us a meal together.
Yeah, we're gonna start our own family. This is our own family reunion. We don't need them what COVID did. Look, hold on. Okay, Queen Tucker, you aka Mother Tucker, Debo.
I would shout out to to Brian Haynes of Fuquay Arena. He has some volunteers who have worked with him since the pandemic started over at Pine Acre Center, and they have been feeding seniors in this area and others ever since.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Remember, if you can't pick it up, they go get it.
Which Brian Haynes are we talking about?
Brian Haynes that works for the town of Fuquay Arena.
Town of Fuquay Arena. Okay. No, my barber's named Brian Haynes too. That's why I was asking. And he does something too.
Yeah.
Okay. They say congratulations.
Secondly, I would shout out to my own Cultural Arts Society people, Shan-Tika, Dwayne, all of you. They all did a really good job on Martin Luther King celebration. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you. She said, I'm going to do my own shout out. And it's going to be sisters and brothers. Debo.
I shout my out. They did good.
The silent storm. Come and take all your stuff.
Okay. Tika, you got a nickname. You Shan now. They don't nickname Queen Tucker to Mother Tucker. Look, talk about come through. So what you got, Shan?
Shan. Okay, Shan has. I would like to shout out my former pastor. Well, I guess he's still, in a sense, he still ministers to me. His name is Reverend William E. Simmons. He is the pastor of Trinity Faithful Gospel Church in Wendell, North Carolina. And the reason why I'm giving him a shout out is throughout this pandemic, he has been one of my rocks in terms of reaching out and ensuring that, we keep in touch with one another and keep each other uplifted during the pandemic.
That's what's up.
Shout out to him, definitely.
Shout out the Right Reverend.
Yes.
Is he the Right Reverend or he just the Reverend?
He is the Right Reverend.
Shout out to the Right Reverend.
The Right Reverend.
That's TH.
It's on you, bro.
Oh, it's on me. Wow. I didn't expect it to come around so fast.
What reverends you got in your pocket?
None. Well, you, Minister.
I'm not a reverend.
Minister Garnett. You. But no, definitely.
You're fired.
That's good because I didn't know I was hired. That's all good. But no, definitely. First and foremost, I always shout out my brother Jay because we have been doing this thing now. It'll be 3 years this year in November, and so I definitely shout out brother Jay because if he hadn't come up with an idea and we didn't take it and we didn't deliberate on it and take it to where it was, we wouldn't be doing this. And so this has been a blessing, this journey. So, and as I say all the time, my brother's light shines real, real bright, like supernova bright. I got special sunglasses just to sit next to him, but y'all see him, like, invisible. But you know what I mean? Like this, I gotta shout out my brother just because we wouldn't be doing this thing. I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. And so I've learned a lot from him, and we talk every day, multiple times a day, most of the time. So, and it's just it could be about business, whatever, family, whatever. So definitely shout out my brother Jay. Shout out to all the brothers that are on the live today with us, Sean, Rick, the other Sean. So all you guys, and if I missed anybody, there's a whole bunch of brothers on here. Shout out to all y'all for your continued support and all your love, just because we couldn't do what we do without y'all. We're supposed to be doing this together. It's a communal thing. So shout out to all you guys. And also I want to make a special shout out to Uncle Marcus. Yep. Because I do not shout that brother out enough. That Uncle Marcus is a comedian, but also one of the biggest influencing factors in my life. Also, my man Devontae, aka Keon, aka the Black Captain America. He helps me stay accountable with this workout thing. There are some days where I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I just want to eat fried, fatty food until I pass out. But he's like, nope, we're gonna get in this torture chamber and sweat and make ourselves better. So shout out to him just because having an accountability partner is one of the best things ever for anything in life. It's exhausting and annoying sometimes, but it really is worth it. It really is. Last but not least, I want to shout out to the brothers who are having the tough conversations. Why are you always doing this, man? Anyways, I want to shout out to the brothers who are having the tough conversations with people. We talked about betrayal with friends, family, and all that. But I want to shout out to the brothers who are having those conversations and either mending those relationships or just getting things out or releasing people so that, if it's better for them, because that's hard work. I've done all three of those things throughout the course of these last 4 years while I've been in therapy and doing my personal journey, and none of it's easy. Much for you, much less the other parties involved. It's not easy. So I want to shout out to those brothers doing that, because that's the work that it takes to become to be better, to heal and to evolve. That's one of the things that it takes, and it's not easy. It's hard work, and I don't think it gets talked about quite enough. So, but yeah, I'm done.
Y'all, it's always a shout out to this brother right here. Because if y'all look back at the first episodes, he used to just say like 1 or 2 lines. Now this just talk for a whole 4 minutes.
I got browbeaten into talking more.
Is that what happened?
Yep.
Oh, okay. A whole 4 minutes without a breath. Did y'all eat? But no, I gotta give a shout out to my brother, man. Your evolution, your journey has happened with this, and we always tell people, yeah, me and my wife are co-founders, but you were there before we even knew what we were going to do, literally. So thank you for being there. Thank you for being beside us all the way. Sure. I got to give a shout out to Roderick because he and I had lunch today at my favorite restaurant, Shaba Shabu. Shaba Shabu should donate because I love y'all. And it was a dope conversation with Roderick, and that's really what's been happening. We've been really connecting with our brothers. So definitely not only to Roderick, but also to Kerwin, aka Superman, Ian, one of our collaborators, Ricky, one of our influencers, and then Devontae, another influencer, and Uncle Marcus, who became an uncle to my wife and I. I definitely do appreciate you guys. And then my biological, all my brothers, Rodney, Vincent, Daryl, Mel, Mike Jr., Alex. I love all of you guys. And then I have to give a shout out to Martin Luther King. You know why? Because if he wouldn't have lived his life and he wouldn't have died, I wouldn't have got a chance to work with Shan-Tika as much as I did. You had every type of argument. But we came out stronger.
Every type of argument.
Yeah, I feel like everything that could happen happened, and look at us, we are still together. And then it brought not only Kim Person into the fold, Chris into the fold, Brianna into the fold. I got an opportunity to work with my twin sisters, Shanora, Sherry and Lenora, Shanora. And if he didn't live his life and then he didn't die, not only would he give us not only the lessons that he gave us, but he wouldn't be a reason for us to come together and reflect. So I am grateful for that. And most importantly, I'm grateful for you guys for being on here, because you guys are all an extension of what Dr. King did. Had it not been for him, none of this would have really happened. Chanel, before we close out, we definitely want to have you guys back.
Yep.
We thank you for your influence, your impact, and the things that you're doing in the community. Queen Tucker, if I don't bring you back, we'll be stoned and the show will be over.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, and Keon talking about y'all welcome JNT. So what we're going to do, guys, you guys stay on. But we're about to close out the show. But like we tell you guys, if you feel that no one else cares about you, and you feel that there is no one that you can turn to, and you don't have any love out there, you just met 5 people who truly care about you. Make sure you tune in next week.
Yep.
We'll be here. If you have any questions, reach out to us at engagement at loveisapparable.com. And also love advocacy trainings are still available. So definitely make sure you sign up for that. Classes start Monday. We love you guys, and we're out.
No matter what they say, we good over this way. This is positivity in the making. Open brothers to break through.